Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight and giving up some time on your Tuesday evening. We'll press straight on. So firstly, a couple of introductions. I'm Simon. I'm the Head of Development for Lloyd & White FlexiPlan. I'm responsible for the growth and development of the FlexiPlan product. I also manage all of our regional relationship managers, ensuring they have the knowledge to deliver the best advice and guidance to practice owners and managers. Over to you, Kim.
Hi everybody, I'm Kim. I am the Regional Relationship Manager.
Perfect. So an introduction of Lloyd & White FlexiPlan to those who don't know who we are. We are primarily a specialist insurance broker delivering patient plan services and commercial and personal insurance products to BDA members with preferential rates. We have been specialising in providing patient plans to dental practices throughout the UK now for about 14 years. And we've been in partnership with the BDA for FlexiPlan, but also all of our insurance products now for over 20 years. We're also proudly part of the Benefact Group. Basically, the Benefact Group is made up of around about 30 businesses across insurance and broking, whose main goal is to give all available profits to charity via our Movement for Good. We're currently the third largest corporate donor in the UK, and we've just it's better outdated there, but we've just now reached 250 million of charitable giving over the last few years. So that's who we are. What we're going to go through tonight, the topics covered tonight, we should be here for about 30 minutes. There will be time for questions for anyone that does have any questions on any topics that we go through. But we're going to cover through dental plans today, where the market is, also what's working best for the practices that we look after. Some benefits for you and as a practice for having a plan in place, then also some additional benefits for your patients. The costs and considerations around a plan. Then Kim's going to go through, for anyone who has got an NHS contract or is a mixed practice, some NHS conversions. Then at the end, we'll just follow through with a review of ways to build a patient plan for the future. So dental patient plans today are more popular than ever. The reduction in access to NHS dentistry is pushing more and more people to private dentistry. Along with the high increase to household costs over the last 2 years, more and more people are struggling or cannot afford to pay private fee per item charges. This is where patient payment plans are becoming the most popular and the most affordable way for patients to pay for their private dentistry. We currently run plans for around 500 practices throughout the UK. And over the last year, on average, our practices are growing their plan numbers by about 35%, which is the highest it's ever been. Those practices that have started from scratch and starting a plan from the very beginning are also seeing the benefits of a patient payment plan, and they're seeing faster year one growth than practices have in the years prior to that. Going hand in hand with the popularity and the growth of these plans, the cancellation rates for existing patients are trending downwards, and it's also the lowest that we have ever seen at just under 2%. Patients are seeing more value in being members of practices and paying monthly for their dental treatment via plans than ever before. So what's working today? But basically, since the inception of dental patient plans many years ago, the traditional plan on offer was the full care plan, or capitation plans as they're otherwise known. Just a quick overview on what these were. These were basically where dentists would assess the patient's possible need for treatments, and then based on that risk and need of treatments, they would be placed in a category, and the higher the risk of that patient needing treatment, the more they would pay. Over the years, they have worked very well, and if they are continually managed correctly with patients being regularly assessed, then they can work effectively. But more and more practices, with the pressures of running busy practices on the day, can't necessarily cope with the more involved work that these types of plans do occur. And if they aren't assessing the patients regularly and kept in the right bands, then the practice could find themselves losing money on these types of plans. Over the years, we have seen a gradual shift where more and more practices are stepping away from these traditional types of plan and focusing more on maintenance plans, hygiene-only plans, and more recently, children's plans, which are proving more and more popular than ever before. We are working with and advising a lot of practices on a newer approach and way of thinking around membership plans, which is having a really positive effect for practices and their plan membership. Maintenance plans that generally just include that set number of exams and hygiene appointments, and elements of discounts on certain types of private treatment, then these maintenance plans will also generally then include some sort of insurance or assistance scheme add-on product. So that's what's worked really well. This is proving really popular with practices, but over the last 18 months, what we've been looking at with all of our practices is to enhance that offering. And we're changing the approach to these plans, basically looking at more added value for patients. The most popular one that's proving a real hit with practices and also patients alike are priority appointments. So allocating set times in the day to attract different types of people to become a member of the practice. So those going to work would quite often prefer an early morning appointment or a lunchtime appointment. So if practices can block out set times of the day to accommodate them, it's going to be very attractive to certain types of patients. Parents taking their children would be keen to have appointments after school. So where practices are able to introduce these priority appointment times, we're seeing faster growth on patient sign-up numbers than ever before. Another benefit that could be added, and some practices are starting to adopt these, are adding additional consumables into these plans. We've got several practices that now offer electric toothbrushes on periodontal plans. Another good benefit that's always proving popular as well is having a free emergency appointment. Basically, there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to adding value to these plans. It doesn't have to cost a lot to the practice, but adding an additional benefit outside of the traditional benefits that have been offered previously has been proving to be very, very popular with practices and making the proposition more attractive. Another change that is having a huge success is how the plan is presented to the patient and the terminology that's used. Instead of listing plans on offer with a different number of checkups and hygiene appointments, the plan marketing literature that the practice has lists the services that are included. But generally what will happen is the dentist can sit down with that patient during the initial examination, talk through what their needs are, and based on these will prescribe a personalized maintenance plan to the patients, giving them a feeling of more value and individual care. Going hand in hand with this approach, some of the terminology used to describe the plan, and signing up to a plan practices are using, becoming a member of the practice. Terms like membership, when talking to patients about the plan and the member of the practice, enhances patient loyalty, and we have found improved sign-up rates to patient plans. Another very relevant topic for everyone today is the environment and reducing our carbon footprint for businesses and individuals alike. In previous years, the main sign-up method of practices was completing a form in the practice, then posting or emailing the form to a provider to set the patients up. Most providers today provide practice portals where the practice can add patients without the need to fill in a paper form. FlexiPlan, in addition to a practice portal, will also provide a web sign-up link that can be added to the practice's website, or can be emailed directly to the patient. So the patient is able to sign themselves up without the need for the practice to complete any administration. Once the patient has completed the simple one-page form, they are on the plan, and the practice receives confirmation from us to confirm the patient and the plan that they're on. We give practices the options on how they sign patients up to the plan, but reward the practices that do take the Go Green approach and help reduce ours and their carbon footprint, where they use paperless sign up with a reduced fee compared to practices that use the paper option. So what are the main benefits for you and your patients? In today's climate, practices that introduce a dental membership plan can provide many benefits. The first being recurring monthly income. Having a loyal base of dental plan members offers a monthly income stream to practices. All businesses in every sector rely on cash flow, and the plan is the perfect way to do this for dental practices. It does encourage regular attendance for patients as well. So patients that are on the plan are more likely to attend your practice regularly, and this mitigates the risk of late cancellations and missed appointments. The reason for this in today's cost of living crisis, by offering a plan, you are enabling your patients to manage the cost of their dental care budget effectively, and to spread the cost. It does increase patient loyalty. Therefore, due to being on the plan and attending regularly for their appointments and consistent attendance, you clinicians are able to spot any potential early issues, and your patients benefit from healthier mouths and overall better dental health. You have happy patients, and now happy with the care that they're receiving, and not forgetting those all-important word-of-mouth recommendations to friends and families, increasing your current patient loyalty, but also attracting new patients to the practice as well. There's added peace of mind with the additional benefits that we provide as your dental plan provider with our market-leading worldwide accident emergency insurance. It's provided by a respected insurer with a fantastic claims handling process. You'll be safe in the knowledge that your patients are covered for emergencies, accidents, and/or cancer, as well as some other cash benefits from day one of joining the plan. We're very proud that there are no additional costs for this insurance. It's all built into our standard fee, and there are no other providers on the market that offer this level of cover. We also offer tailored support. At FlexiPlan, we're here not only to support you throughout the creation of your plans, but your dedicated relationship manager is there on hand to handhold you through the whole process of the setup and throughout the lifetime of your plan with us. The support is face-to-face. We also offer over the phone and via online appointments as well. The team is there with unlimited support for you and your team. Some of the support that this includes is the bespoke design of your marketing literature, assistance with your social media, in-practice training for your team for the launch and throughout the ongoing of your plan, to basically ensure that your team are confident with the plans that are on offer, and how best to deliver that information to your patients. Ultimately, the overall benefit of introducing a dental membership plan to your practice is business growth without sacrificing any patient satisfaction. Over to you, Kim.
Okay, so just going to introduce myself because I'm not sure if people heard me earlier, but my name's Kim. I am the Regional Relationship Manager for the West Midlands and the North West. My role is to work and support practices with the implementation, growth and development of your dental plans. So when it comes to costs and considerations, when selecting a dental plan provider, we do appreciate that there are costs and considerations that you need to take into account. The range of benefits for Lloyd & White FlexiPlan are as follows. So firstly, there's no setup costs. Our pricing structure means that there are no hidden fees. We don't charge a setup cost, and the only fee payable is the fee per patient per month. The package you receive when you join us is the fully bespoke design of your marketing materials, prints to get you started, and a comprehensive patient sign-up portal as well. You'll also have a dedicated regional relationship manager, such as myself or one of the other guides if you're a different region than me, and full team training as well. Another benefit is there's no additional costs for accident and emergency insurance. As discussed previously, there's no additional costs. Your patients are covered as standard, and the level of cover is unrivaled against any of our competitors. In addition to this, it's important to note that the cover is an insurance policy, as opposed to other providers where you may hear the words assistance scheme as opposed to insurance. This is because it's an insurance product as opposed to being based on a discretionary trust. There's a joiner fee, cashback included as part of the considerations to consider. We are the only plan provider to repay your part of your joiner fees back to you at the end of the year. What that means is when your patients join the plan, they'll pay a £10 joiner fee, which is taken in their first month's direct debit paid by the patient. But what we do is that we're the only provider that actually returns £3 of this back to you. So, for example, if you have 1,000 patients signed up in the first 12 months, we will return £3,000 back to you as the practice, as an incentive. A lot of what works well for practices is that they'll use this sum of money as an incentive for the team to increase revenue. Other costs and considerations to take into account for your practice is we also understand that setting up a new dental patient plan can be daunting. There are costs and decisions to take into consideration. So another cost and consideration to take into account is what your competitors are charging in your area. So we will analyse your local competition, if they're offering a plan and what their benefits include. This can be a helpful tool for when you're choosing where to place your plans compared to your competitors. We provide full plan pricing assistance and advice. However, ultimately, all businesses have varying overheads, expenses and goals, and we'll work with you to understand your individual practice, your goals and what you want to offer. So when we're looking at NHS conversions, making the decision, firstly, undertaking a conversion from NHS to private can feel like a big step. Many practice owners are contemplating conversion, not only for financial reasons, but also for the desire to deliver patient care that aligns with your individual values and time allocation also. By implementing a patient payment plan into your practice to aid a private conversion, this can greatly assist in managing your cash flow and build that all-important financial stability with a regular monthly income. We're here to fully support your practice from your initial inquiry throughout your relationship with us. We help you implement the plans, assist you with communicating this important message to your team, and also assist you in communicating that message to your patients as well. We can support you through any type of conversion journey, whether that be associate-led, principal-led, or a full conversion as well. And as part of the service here at Lloyd & White, we can also introduce you to business planning specialists that we have relationships with. And these business planning consultants can work with you to firstly understand your values, your goals, maybe your financial goals, and assess your business and what you're looking to achieve from that conversion. The support that we offer throughout that NHS conversion, once you've made that decision to convert, what exactly does that support look like from us? So from your initial inquiry, you'll be assigned obviously a dedicated relationship manager. Firstly, we'll complete a detailed competitor analysis for you. We'll look at your area, look at what your competitors are doing. We discuss your patient makeup, because each practice has patients that are offering different things. So we'll have a look at what your patients look like. And again, our service is completely bespoke, and we're happy to support any plans that you wish to implement. We want to understand your USPs, so your individual unique selling points at your practice. What differentiates you from your competition, for example? Can we use your USPs to enhance your patient payment plan options and differentiate you from your competition? We look into that for you. We look at your fee per item pricing structure and can suggest plan prices. Again, your plans are 100% bespoke, and we can support any pricing structure you wish to implement. Your relationship manager will work with you and complete a bespoke team training session with the whole team. This session will cover the benefits of the plan to both the practice and the patient, how to sign patients up to the plan, details of the worldwide accident and emergency insurance, which is a great selling benefit to the plan, and then ultimately how to talk and promote the plan to your patients. Feedback from our practices is that these sessions are fantastic in getting your team on board. That's really important, so that your team are on board with your visions and plan number goals. If we could, thanks, Simon, just moving the slide there. So your NHS conversion, your patient communication, one of the most popular questions we get asked around NHS conversion is, can you assist with that communication and communicating that change to the patient? And the answer is yes. We work with you to draft the patient communication until you're happy with that message. The key is communicating that message in a positive, clear and concise manner. We can provide draft letters and show you examples of what has worked for other practices, and the other practices that have gone through that journey before you, and what has worked well for them. Usually the best way we communicate the news is through what we call an e-shot, which is an email that we send on your behalf. This communicates the reason for the conversion and all of those positive benefits and unique selling points that we found for you of your bespoke plans, and also includes the patient sign-up link where the patient can actually go in and sign themselves directly to plan through that email as well. The great thing about using that e-shot tool is that we can then analyse how successful the email communication has been by monitoring the click-through rate. So how many patients have actually opened that email, how many have read through that email, and ultimately how many patients have signed up using that communication. If you don't have email addresses, we can appreciate that some patients don't give email addresses, or maybe perhaps don't have an email. We can send letters out for those patients as well, and we can add a QR code so that in the same respect as the email, they can actually sign themselves up to plan that way. They can scan the QR code and sign patients up that way, or alternatively they can come into practice and you can sign them up as well. Once the communication has been sent to your patients, your relationship manager will work closely with you, keep you updated with the patient sign-up numbers, and assist you with any queries your team may have moving forward. But we're here not only throughout your setup and your conversion, but throughout the relationship you have with us. Thank you, Simon.
Thanks, Kim. That's brief overview on NHS conversions. For those of you here present tonight that already have a plan in place, we can also bulk transfer those plans off seamlessly and very, very straightforward. The first aspect to consider when you have got a plan in place is to review the process with what your current provider offers. There are a couple of questions to ask. Ask yourself really before you consider it. Are you receiving value in the fee that you are currently paying your provider? Are you receiving the support with the plan on a day-to-day basis that was promised to you when you first started? Are you actively receiving support to help grow and develop the plan to reach the goals of where you want the plan to be? If you do have a plan in place, please do consider going on our website to see what savings you could possibly make. There is a QR code on these slides, which will basically take you off to our website, and you're then able to enter in your current number of patients, the fee that you're currently paying, and instantly it will bring back to you the savings that you could make on your monthly charges. Transferring an existing plan has never been easier with the bulk transfer process. We basically would work with your existing provider to seamlessly transfer your plan over, which is risk-free and without you or your patients having to do anything. We basically would then set up the transfer of those direct debits in the background, and we would tailor a communication to your existing patients, confirming to them that nothing's changing. The only thing that is changing is the name of who's collecting the direct debits. As well as a big saving for the practices make on their admin fee, generally what the patients will see then is an uplift on the additional benefits that they receive in the plan via our worldwide accident emergency insurance. The benefits that we provide on that product, as I mentioned earlier on tonight, is market leading. So your patients will receive a bigger amount of benefits from day one of this transfer. So ways to build a payment plan for the future. The first thing to do is basically to review your current plan offering, starting with the services. It is vital that you review the services you offer within each plan. Are they what patients need? Do they offer value to patients? Are they competitively priced? Speak to your team and even the patients that are on your plan already to get some feedback. Obtaining feedback and input from others will give you the information on whether your plan is delivering what you set it out to do. If it's not, you now have the tools to make the changes. Alongside reviewing the services and offer and making sure there is value for patients, it's just as important to regularly review what you charge for these plans and to make sure they are priced correctly and profitable for you. Implementing an annual price increase keeps the pricing up to date and can possibly prevent bigger increases further down the line. We had one practice a few years ago that hadn't reviewed their pricing for several years, and when we finally got them to do so, the increase was massive and it was hard to justify that uplift to their plan patients. Regular review of your prices will prevent this and any hard conversations with your patients. And going alongside this, most practices will only communicate to their plan patients when the fees are going up. I'm a huge advocate of when we have reviewed plan prices with a practice, if they are able to hold the fees the same, that we also communicate the good news to patients. Practices generally will only let plan patients know when they're uplifting the price. When we are speaking to our practices, if they're not increasing the fees, I encourage them to let us communicate the good news to them as well, because that can instill that loyalty from patients as well. Marketing is always a huge one to constantly review. Have a look at the marketing you have done. Have you done some mailers? Have you done e-shots, social media posts? Or do you just have the standard plan promotional literature in the practice? Some practices don't even have that. If you have done marketing, take a step back and have a look. Did it work? If you had a good response from one method, then try it again. Look at events throughout the year and plan what you're going to do and when you're going to do certain campaigns. If you've had a poor response from something, then ask yourself, is it worth doing again, or is your time and resources better spent trying something else? This is where you should utilize your plan provider. They will always be able to offer advice and generally have the tools to assist you with e-shots, social media posts, and other type of marketing. Training is always a huge part as well. All plan providers will offer that initial training session when a plan is launched. But since you've launched the plan, have you had a changeover of staff? Have staff stopped talking about the plan and the benefits to your patients? Have the number of patients joining the plan slowed down? All of these could be a clear indicator of a need for further training. organise those top-up sessions with your plan provider, or speak to them, and they should be able to tailor training sessions based on the specific needs of your team and your practice. Finally, always review any targets, goals and processes. Have you set targets? If you did, have you achieved them? If not, can you clearly identify why you didn't? If you can, then make sure you address it. It could be a single training issue or a result of several things not working, like confusing literature, poor pricing of your plans, lack of marketing. Reviewing your plan in full with your provider can help address areas of poor performance and help you achieve your targets and goals moving forward. Then finally, just a couple of clear points on ways to grow your plan. I just wanted to leave you really with 3 key points that are vital and have had the biggest impact on the success of plans. Firstly, ensure everyone within the practice is talking about your talking about the plan to your patients. Having the knowledge of your plan and its benefits is vital for everyone in the practice. From your dentist simply saying to patients, I see you regularly for checkups and hygiene, you would benefit from being on the plan. To your front desk team, asking patients when they're booking appointments, if they're a member of the practice or do they pay as they go. If everyone in the practice promotes and talks about the plan, giving the same message will give confidence to patients in becoming a member. We hold in our training sessions for practices clear sets, specific training on ways your team can get into conversation with patients, how they would benefit from being on the plan. This can be done in practice or it can be online, but regular top-up training with your team will keep that momentum going with plans, patients signing up. Secondly, incentivizing your team will help the plan grow. It can be as simple as setting a number of new patients for the month and rewarding them with a lunch or a bottle of something if they hit that number of signed up patients. During our training sessions, we talk about how having a successful plan offers financial stability for the practice, but also everyone that works within the practice as well. Sometimes your team might need something more to push them to keep talking about the plan to patients. At FlexiPlan, we recognise this and we offer a little financial help. All providers now charge patients a joining fee when they sign up to a plan, and all other providers keep 100% of their joining fee to cover the administration costs of the patient setup and direct debit. At FlexiPlan, we now also do charge a joining fee, but at the end of the year, we pay back to the practice £3 of every joining fee. So if you sign 500 patients up in that first year, you would receive from us at the end of the year £1,500. Most of our practices use this cash back as a way to financially reward their team without it costing you, the practice owner, anything, and it has worked really well. Finally, is to consider your marketing. Communication in the form of written, verbal, face-to-face and social media. The more people that hear about your plan, the more interested they will become. In line with our Go Green initiative, we're moving away from some paper marketing and focused more towards e-shots and social medias for practice. E-shots are working extremely well. Basically, we add in details of the plan, the benefits that the patients receive, also with that sign-up link, as Kim went through earlier as well. Patients receiving the e-shots can sign themselves up, therefore reducing practice administration and time spent with your team signing patients up. Off the back of this, like I said, we're also able to give you the full analytical backup on the success of these e-shots. We can talk through look at click-through rates, talk through the success of the e-shot. Are they clicking through to your website? Have they clicked through to the sign-up link? How many patients have signed up? By having that analytics, we're able to then look at what works well in that previous e-shot and then tailor and refine future correspondence to your patients, making sure that each communication that we send out is having the most success for you. more and more practices are looking towards social media to promote their services, and we can work with practices on creating individual posts to help promote the plans for you on a regular basis. Thank you, everyone, for attending this short webinar. That's only a tip of the iceberg, basically what we've gone through this evening. I appreciate we have taken up the full allocation of time. So if anyone does have any questions or would like to speak to us about your plan, starting a new plan, then please do contact us on our website. There will also be a follow-up email with all our details on. So if anyone does have any questions or wants to book an appointment, just have a further chat with myself, Kim, or one of our other relationship managers, then please do get in contact. Thank you all, and have a good evening.
Thank you.